I'll tell you a story about how two idiots hacked an entire server, hacked them all, with the directions and orders of his boss. Now this server wasn't popular or anything, it was merely just a private server for most of our friends. It all started when someone mysteriously joined our server named Jones Dinglenut and started cussing at everyone. No one suspected who it would have been at the time, let alone the fact that he had already been among them multiple times right under their noses, but we'll get to that later. So as I said, no one suspected who it was. A player by the name of Sir Gert said it might be one of those Minecraft hackers. They then all assumed it was a Minecraft hacker since our server wasn't even legit in the first place. However, one person knew something was not right. That was the owner, Big Dan himself. The hacker was looking for the owner, and Big Dan had to step forward. Big Dan asked who he was. He said his name was Jones Pianist Dinglenut III. Big Dan knew this wasn't his real name, and that increased his suspicion. Big Dan asked if he knew him, and Jones said no. Big Dan later banned Jones after a small interrogation, and everyone felt safe again. Little did they know, that wasn't the last they'd see of Jones Pianist Dinglenut. As silly as his name was, he was still a hacker and knew what he was doing. He hacked into Big Dan's account a few times to give his boss items like netherite and diamonds. Who is his boss? You'll find out soon. He hacked into the accounts of many players and made small talk in chat, slowly gathering information and waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike again. No one suspected him, and thought it was just their fellow players joining in to say hi, and this went on for a while. Until one day a player by the name of Evil Corp saw his teammate had joined. But little did he know, that was not his teammate. We all know who it was. Evil Corp and Jones exchanged greetings like normal, but Jones messed up. He talked too much, leading to Evil Corp growing a seed of concern and suspicion. Jones quickly logged off after saying bye, but didn't stop there. He logged onto many other accounts to slowly gather information piece by piece. You knew not to do it too fast or too often, or everyone would get suspicious. After about a week, Jones Pianist Dinglenut decided it was finally time to strike, and terrorize the server once again. Before he did this one day, most of our players were fighting for fun, but they had no idea Jones was among them. He had finally gathered the final piece of information he needed, and decided to make his move during nightfall. It was about 10 p.m. when most of us were online just chilling. All of a sudden, one of our fellow players joined. We tried exchanging greetings, but he was oddly silent. Then out of nowhere, he said in chat full caps, Jones D-I-N-G-L-E-N-T-S-D-R-I-K-S again, then left quickly. By then it was too late, so Gert and Evil Corp tried contacting Big Dan, hoping he would wake up and stop Jones Pianist Dinglenut once and for all. He didn't wake up, and then Jones hacked another one of our players named Two Shoes while he was online. Two Shoes quickly joined back in a desperate attempt at trying to regain his account back, but Jones wasn't gonna let go that easily. They fought over account control while Sir Gert and Evil Corp desperately spammed ping Big Dan until he finally woke up, banned everyone, and closed the server to investigate. By now, half the group was awake trying to figure out all the commotion. Big Dan and Two Shoes investigated together and found the true culprit. Before I tell you who it is, please like and subscribe. My mom is kinda homeless. Anyways, as I was saying, they found the culprit. The command logs for the diamonds and netherite I had mentioned earlier had been deleted, and the culprit, the main evil hacker behind everything, was none other than Sir Gert. Sir Gert immediately denied all accusations, but the proof kept adding up. Evil Corp was pissed, Big Dan was pissed, Two Shoes was pissed, everyone was pissed. Sir Gert quickly left the group and told Jones that he got caught. They never hacked that server again, but the same could be said for other Minecraft servers out there. To this day, no one knows where Sir Gert and Jones have been, but they are bound to strike again. If you like this story, drop a like. See why all later, hope you enjoy.